This video focuses on creating cohesion among pieces of information by linking elements in specific patterns. You especially need to understand what makes prose cohesive if you've been told your writing is choppy or awkward or doesn't flow. And even if you've never received that kind of feedback, it would be helpful if you understood it so you can provide feedback to others. I'll use a passage from a job announcement as an example. I won't spend any time analyzing the rhetorical context of that job announcement in this video, as a job posting is a genre all of us have read at some point in the past. To understand cohesion, the first thing we need to do is identify what's called given information. This was probably new to you. Readers assume that what comes first in a sentence, usually in the subject position, contains information that's already known to them. You can assume readers have that information nearer the surface of their consciousness. That's why it's called given information. Take a few seconds to read this short passage from a job announcement. See if you can find a referent linking the second sentence back to the first. You're looking for repeated information, whether it's a noun or a phrase, and you're looking for information, not always the exact same wording. The repeated information in our example is pretty easy to find: applicants. Readers easily process the second sentence because the first thing that they see, the subject, is repeated from the first sentence. In the second sentence, we call applicants the given information. It was given to the reader earlier. The reader already has this information near the front of their mind. Readers also assume that the predicate position, and basically that means everything from the first verb to the end of the sentence, that it contains information that's unknown, not at the surface of their consciousness. Hence it's called new information. So, are available with the Securities and Exchange Commission for qualified applicants, etc., is all new information in the first sentence shown here. In the second sentence, readers expect everything from are needed in the Washington, etc., to be new information. Here's a slightly different version of the passage with the information in subjects and predicates rearranged. What's your reaction when you get to the second sentence? Most of us shake our head a little after the first few words of the second sentence because we're not sure how to process what we're reading. That pause is caused by lack of cohesion between sentences. When readers get to the second sentence and see the Washington headquarters, etc., near the front of the sentence, they know they should treat it as given information, but it isn't mentioned in the previous sentence, so readers are likely to spend a little extra time processing. They might think, did I miss something? Why should I be thinking of the D.C. headquarters? The writer erred by presenting D.C. headquarters, information that's new in the subject position. This arrangement of given to new is not cohesive, so you can imagine readers commenting the passage is awkward. If a writer begins with new information, readers are at a disadvantage. Readers search for given information at the front of every sentence. That's their means of connecting what the writer has to say that's new to something that's already known and at the surface of their consciousness. Now that you can distinguish given from new information, you should also know English allows different ways of signaling that information is given. For example, the use of repeated words or phrases, or the use of demonstrative pronouns like this help to identify information as given. The second principle you need to understand cohesion involves the patterns for arranging given and new information between and among sentences. The first pattern creates a link between two sentences by repeating the same information near the front or in the subject position of both. In our job posting example, the noun positions is used in the subject position in both sentences, and each predicate presents new information. That's why the pattern is called ABAC, where the repetition of A creates the link between information in consecutive sentences. The second cohesive pattern creates a link by repeating the new information from the previous sentence as the given information in the following one. In the job ad passage shown here, applicants appears in the predicate of the first sentence and the subject of the second. That means this pattern is called ABBC, where the repetition of B is what creates the link. These two cohesive patterns can be combined also in a long string of sentences. Cohesion is a critical quality of well-written messages. It ensures the efficiency with which the reader processes the message. Worth reminding you that experienced students sometimes have difficulty accepting the importance of reading efficiency because it's contrary to their experience in academic writing. Just remember that a teacher's job is to make sense out of what his or her students write, no matter how good or bad it is, or no matter how efficient or inefficient it is to read. In contrast, professionals can either ignore inefficient documents, or, frankly, they find ways to retaliate when writers waste their time and energy. Before this video ends, let me say there's no way to learn to write your own workplace documents effectively and efficiently without actually applying the ideas as you read and analyze new texts. Reading thoughtfully always precedes writing successfully. So I want you to look for these patterns in what you're reading today.